EA Sports leaves Milan Puskar Stadium, the home of my beloved West Virginia Mountaineers, off of their top 25 toughest places to play list for their college football 2026 video game. Are they flat out being disrespectful of the West Virginia Mountaineers? That's what we're going to talk about in this episode of Couz's Corner. So stick around and we'll talk about it in just a couple seconds. What is up, and welcome into this episode of Couz's Corner, your home for top shelf content around the West Virginia Mountaineers. EA Sports recently put out their list of top 25 toughest places to play in their college football 26 video game. And as you can see by the graphic on your screen for those watching and for those listening, I will just tell you, West Virginia is nowhere to be found on that list. As a matter of fact, there are only two Big 12 teams on that list. You have the Utah Ute Stadium, Rice-Eccles Stadium, sitting at number 20, and then you have Boone-Pickens Stadium, home of the Oklahoma State Cowboys, sitting there at number 23. So no Big 12 team inside the top 19, and only two on the entire list. How could you leave Milan Puskar Stadium off this list is what a lot of people are asking. It's a historic stadium, a place where teams used to fear going, especially at night, man. Nobody ever wanted to go to Morgantown, and maybe they still don't. But apparently it's not tough enough, according to EA Sports, to put them on this list. Is EA Sports disrespecting the Mountaineers? Or are they actually right? That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. And I'm going to dive into some numbers. But I mean, when you look at West Virginia, I'm going to point you to, after you're done with this video, I'm going to point you to another great video by friends of the show, the guys over at College Football Mafia. Wild Ute and Daniel Gigax did a great video on this a few weeks back. The video has done very well. Kudos to them. But they put together their own ranking of Big 12 football stadiums. They had Milan Puskar at number 10 out of 16 teams, not even in the top half of the league. But, man, when they break down the numbers they use, the data they use to back it up, it kind of makes sense, to be honest with you. Now, they didn't give out all their numbers, but they had a weighted rating system they used to score it themselves, their own scoring system. But they use these three criteria. They use their 5-year home attendance average, which West Virginia actually did pretty good in, attendance percentage in 2024, and 5-year win percentage. Now, they didn't give out. The only number they gave out for West Virginia was the one was a positive for them, which was the 5-year home attendance average, which was 52,892, which rated them number 5 in the Big 12. But here's a caveat to that. They have one of the largest stadiums in the conference. So, of course, they're going to have more people. So I don't even look at that as a huge win, especially considering that they have one of the largest stadiums and only ranked 5th in attendance in 5 years. I don't think that's too good. There's only a handful of stadiums in the Big 12 that hold 60,000 people. Milan Puskar being one of them, and they only ranked 5th. So not great, in my opinion. But we'll take it as a positive for this exercise. So what I decided to do, since Wild Ute and Daniel did not share the exact numbers from the other two categories in their video, I decided to take it upon myself to dive into those numbers and give them to you. But before I do that, though, I do want to give a quick shout out to my primary channel sponsor, the fine folks over at Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner. So hang tight for this commercial break. Since 1931, the attorneys at Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner have been the voice for victims who have suffered serious injury or death. They have a fierce passion for truth and justice and a sincere compassion for those who have been wronged by others. Whether you have been in a car accident, are fighting with an insurance company, or you or a loved one has suffered serious injury or death due to medical negligence, we will ensure your voice is heard loud and clear. Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner will ensure there is justice for all West Virginians, because we are your lawyer, your voice. Visit us at yourlawyeryourvoice.com. Thank you for being patient and sitting through that. Now let's get back to the show. When you look at West Virginia's numbers, when you look at their attendance percentage in 2024, it was only 82%. Only 82% attendance in 2024, 82% capacity average in 2024. So, I mean, that hurts. That hurts their ability to win games. If you don't have a packed out crowd, it's going to make it tougher. Now, what hurts that? They've not been winning enough games. Let's be honest. Fans had grown apathetic to a degree. We're a little bit tired of the team not winning on a consistent basis. So they don't come, especially considering the prices we have to pay nowadays. It's not cheap to go to a West Virginia football game. It's not cheap to go to any college football game these days. So people are not going if you don't give them a good product to watch, they're not going to go. It's that simple. I mean, as I dug into these numbers, I see now why Wren Baker made the decision. Not only was West Virginia not winning enough, they weren't filling the stands enough during the Neal Brown era. We saw a pretty big decline in attendance during his era. For example, the last 5 years of the Dana Holgorsen era, West Virginia was at 95% capacity on average over those 5 years. It's 2014 through 2018. They were averaging 95% capacity in a 60,000 seat stadium. Now, when you look at their 5-year win percentage, this is another issue of West Virginia under the Neal Brown era. They only won 67% of their home games the last 5 years of the Neal Brown era. That's not good. That means the crowd that was showing up wasn't having much of an impact, or the team just flat out wasn't good enough, and I think that's the case. Because the games I went to, for the most part, the fans were engaged and were cheering for the team. So I blame it on the performance of the team at the time. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Couz, Neal Brown was playing a tougher schedule at home. Yes, but not by that much. When you look, yes, Dana Holgorsen was playing a few more. He played 2 more games against non-Power 4 opponents at home in 5 years, in his last 5 years, than Neal did in his last 5 years. That's it. 2. Because a lot of the non-con Power 4 games that Dana was coaching in were at neutral sites. So it wasn't a home game or an away game. But a lot of his wins were against Big 12 competition at home. Neal Brown had a 20-10 record at home from 2020 to 2024, 67% winning percentage. When you look at Dana Holgorsen's last 5 years, 2014 through 2018, West Virginia won 80% of their home games. Now, that includes those 2 extra games against non-Power 4 schools. If you take those out, and let's just theoretically put those in as losses. Let's just say West Virginia had lost both of those games. That would have put them with a record of 22-8, which would have been a 73% win percentage, still better than what Neal Brown did over his tenure. So, even when you compare apples to apples, Dana Holgorsen performed better at home, or his teams performed better at home than what Neal Brown's teams did. So, take it for what it's worth. That hurts attendance, which makes it not as scary to play at. So, at the end of the day, as you dive into numbers like this, not only was West Virginia losing less, it was hurting their checkbook, hurting their pocketbook, because you had less fans coming to games. Let's look at the attendance numbers the last 5 years under Dana Holgorsen. 58,000, and this is average, 58,000, 56,000, 58,000, 55,000, 57,000, 53,000. I mean, just I didn't do the math on this one. That's probably an average of about 55,000 probably to 56,000, somewhere in that range. Neal Brown was averaging, last 5 years was averaging just under 53,000. That is why a change had to be made. But it also explains why EA Sports would have Milan Puskar Stadium not on their top 25 list, because let's be honest, Milan Puskar has lost its luster a little bit, and until West Virginia gets back to winning again, it'll continue to be that way. However, I have hope, because I think Rich Rod will get West Virginia back to winning again. We'll see Milan Puskar Stadium filling up again, hopefully as early as this year. We'll start seeing those 57,000, 58,000 crowds again. And Milan Puskar Stadium will once again regain its place as one of the top stadiums in America, college football stadiums in America. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think West Virginia's Milan Puskar Stadium has lost its luster? And do you think that's why EA Sports left them off of their top 25 toughest places to play list for the college football 2026 video game. Let me know. Also, please hit this like button. There's the thumbs up button underneath. If you like this video, if you thought this video sucked, then don't hit the button. It's that simple. Subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. Share it with your family and friends. Anybody that may not know about this channel who likes West Virginia Mountaineer sports, please send them my way. Let them know I'm out there sharing the West Virginia Mountaineer news and analysis almost each and every day. Don't forget about my other sponsor right over here, Appalachia Digital, where you can go to get yourself a brand new website created or get your current website found easier on Google. Go to appalachiadigital.com/Couz. Let them know I sent you. Thank you for watching. Hope the rest of your day's top shelf and Q Country Roads.